He said, Smith, I'm Javon Adams. Let me ask you this question, throwing it out there. Does every NFL team want to win the Super Bowl?
Everybody wants to, but does everybody have the capability? And that's a good question, Jay, because like I said, everybody wants to. Does everybody know that they are there and ready to do it? Probably 32 teams in the league, right?
Yeah.
You've got the top 10, or I would say 10 is probably generous. Let's say top 10 teams know that like all the way down to a Miami. If everything works out right, we can run the table and we can get there. Then you got a few teams behind them, 10 to 20 that are, hey, if a few things fall our way, but it might be a long shot, but we could probably, work our way, and then we just got to get lucky. Got to need a little luck to get it. Then you got a third of the league, dog, that are just, we are so far away, like the Cardinals. If you're going into next year thinking, hey, this is a Super Bowl team, man, I'm like, what are you smoking? You got so many things to jump over to get to where, like, let's say a San Francisco is. Yeah. I mean, and that's why I said you got to figure out how to win your division first. I mean, you might be fourth in your own division, considering it's got the Super Bowl defending losing team in there. Seattle's always running, hot. The Rams, you never know. They looked a lot
surprised
better.
Last year. They surprised last season.
So you got to figure out how to win your division before you're thinking about a Super Bowl and just get into the playoffs. So you got to do it in tiers. And, most teams are like, yeah, we'd like to say we're Super Bowl ready, but there's only a few teams that, doggone well, they're going to be in the hunt. And then, injuries and stuff like that can derail anybody. But, as far as the thought process, everybody wants to say it, but not everybody believes it, bro, because they know the reality. When we were inside of locker rooms, we knew where we stood as far as talent. I'll give you a quick one, Jay. Yeah. The year I went to the Super Bowl, we were 14-2. That was not seen by a whole lot of people, right? At the same time, we were in the division with the San Francisco 49ers at the time. We were in the NFC West. You had Jerry Rice, Steve Young, run down the list, Terrell Owens before he was T.O., Garrison Hurst. I mean, you're looking over at that roster and you're like, yeah, that's pretty stout right there. And to beat them, it's like, well, we can compete and then we'll see what happens from here. And I mean, everybody, and I say that to say everybody knows what you have in your locker room. Sometimes it takes a little luck. Ball bouncing your way, different things like that. But when we started that season, Coach Reeves was like, we got some goals. First goal is we want to win our division. We want to win our division, but we win all of our home games. So we started setting little goals, right? And we started clicking those off. But I mean, at the start of that season, after going 7-9 the year before and knowing what we had in that locker room, if you went down the roster 1-53, you might have had one or two guys that said, yeah, this is a Super Bowl team. But things worked out that year, and it might have been somewhat a fluke. 14-2 for a team that was 7-9 the year before. When does that ever happen? So everybody knows what's in between the walls in their locker rooms and what's going on.